Earlier this year, I told my husband I wanted a divorce. There is not a single thing about my husband in and of himself that I do not love. Let me be very clear about that. He is the most self-disciplined, loyal, hardworking, good person that you could meet on this planet. I have been searching for something in my relationship that we don't have for the whole time we've been married, which has been 10 years.
So what would you say to a wife who admits that her husband is perfect, loyal, and hardworking, but she still wants a divorce?
So you married?
I'm going through a divorce.
What happened with that?
So he ended up losing his job. He came home and he told me. I'm like, okay, cool. All right. So a month went by and he looked for me to pay the bills. Who paying what bills? So I was going to consider it if he gave me the money back for paying the bills. And he told me no.
Ladies, if your husband lost his job and you had to cover the bills for just 30 days, just 1 month, would that be grounds for divorce? So when good men aren't good enough for modern wives, we have a marriage crisis on our hands. So today, we're addressing 2 shocking divorce confessions that reveals the real problem in America today and in marriages today. Let's get to it. All right, let's get to it. Welcome to the Pastor's Q&A. I am Pastor A, and this is my beautiful wife,
Pastor Q.
Yeah, so here today, talking about 2 different peoples who want to divorce their husbands. Divorce. They want to get rid of a good man. Do you know how hard it is to find? Ooh. I don't understand what we got going on today with these women. So we thank y'all for tuning in and rocking out with us today. So if you haven't, please give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Please make sure you hit that notification bell. And when you hit the bell, please click on all so you can get all the notifications when we are going live. And if you're on YouTube, it gives you a 30-minute notification to let you know that we'll be live in 30 minutes. So like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And yeah, so hey babe.
Hi.
So we talking about divorce. Divorce is such a ugly thing. Depending on what side you are, it can also be lucrative. I'm just saying. I know some wealthy divorce attorneys. Okay? So, but divorce can be a problem. Divorce causes family splits, separations. It causes children to go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. It causes men to act cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And some women also go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs during divorce. It's very dirty. It's nasty. It's low down. And I see why God says he didn't grant divorce. There was not supposed to be one. But Jesus made it clear that Moses had sympathy for you men to put away your wives. Because a lot of men was putting away women because they couldn't have kids. They wasn't. It's crazy that your father of faith, who you claim that you come from, wife didn't have kids for 9,000 years. And then one day she did. So you couldn't wait and pray and ask the Lord to birth you. Y'all number one prophet that y'all love so dearly, mama, couldn't have babies. Matter of fact, she got picked on by the other wife. Matter of fact, who who Jacob really wanted, which was Rachel, couldn't have babies. And she didn't have babies but the last two. That was Joseph and Benjamin. Then she died when she had Benjamin. The tribe of Judah came from her sister, who the daddy said he had to marry first. So barren is not, what's the word I'm looking for? Uncommon. If she couldn't cook what you wanted, you put her away. They was finding stupid reasons to put women away. So that's why Jesus said, guess what? In order to put your wife away, in order for divorce to take place, there has to be sexual immorality. There has to be some cheating, some nasty stuff going on. There has to be some funny, shaking stuff taking place. You can't put her away just because y'all don't like each other. But now in America, we have this thing called irreconcilable differences. You know what's crazy? This is what, 2025? I think it was up to 2019, 2018. You could not get a divorce in New York on the grounds of reconcilable differences because of the Catholic Church. They would not allow you to get a divorce. In order for you to get a divorce, there had to be cheating. There had to be abuse. Like, just saying we don't get along, they didn't care. They was not granting you a divorce. There was no check unreconcilable differences. But what I find to be interesting, I serve a lot of divorce papers. And it's always irreconcilable differences.
You reading them folks' papers?
I read enough to go, because like I tell you, I read to find out why.
But if it say divorce, that's all you need to know. Why are you reading details?
Sometimes.
Because you being nosy. He being nosy, y'all. There's no reason that we got to go into details in these papers. None whatsoever.
Listen, people be asking, why you at my door?
Nope. I've been doing this for 5 years. I don't need to know why they are getting a divorce. That's between them.
Care. Maybe it's meant for me to pray for them.
Yeah, I can pray for them, and God gives you words of knowledge and words of wisdom, and He tells you what you need to pray. You do not need to be being nosy. You being nosy.
Well, it depends on what I'm serving, because most of the time I'm also serving what you call them things when people can't be.
We ain't talking about the other stuff.
Nah, it's in the divorce package.
No, and that ain't none of your business. They supposed to read that.
No, because I was taught, I don't know what you were taught. I was taught that when you get that other piece of paper where they can't be around,
and that ain't none of your business. They supposed to read that.
No, because I was taught, I don't know what you were taught. I was taught that when you get,
all right,
they don't want us talking about them people, but we gonna talk about them people. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome. So, you got these two women that have two totally polar opposites of why they want to get rid of their husbands.
Yesterday we talking about the little girl who she was.
She didn't know what she had.
Yeah, she had a good one, but she didn't know what to do with him. She was scared of him. Now we got the two that's got good ones, and they want to get rid of them. They trying to kick them to the curb.
So let me ask this question: Are they scared?
I don't know, because I ain't listened. Well, one of them I listened to. She just crazy as a bat. And the other one, I don't know. I ain't listened to that one.
Oh my God!
You didn't send me that one. Yes, I said she is crazy as a bat.
Sad.
But what I can say is she was up front. That's why when somebody tell you who they are,
pay attention.
Believe them. No, not pay attention. Believe them. If they show you who they are, believe them. There is no such thing as potential. I'm glad that you have potential. Potential is wonderful if you're going to put the work behind it to make it into a reality. I'm just saying, save yourself some time. Yes, because if somebody tell you who they are, don't second guess them. Don't say, oh, but you could be, that could be it. Yep, if you don't want to deal with it, don't deal with it. I'm just saying.
So welcome, ladies and gentlemen. To those who are in here, let us know you in here so we can shout you out. How's everybody doing? You ain't got to be scared. Don't be scared. Come on into the chat. Say hello. We gonna say hello. Maybe I should. So, don't be scared. Who's in the building? We gonna say hello. Y'all say hello so we can shout you out. Those on YouTube, Facebook. So, where we go first? Let's go with the sneak preview that I showed yesterday, and we gonna save the best. We gonna save the best for last.
The bat. That's what it is. The bat.
I didn't say it. What's going on now?
Hey, Sugar Plum, the bat. She is crazy as a bat.
Oh man. Listen. Hey, Miss Martha, how are you?
Hey, Miss Martha.
I'm being nice. Today.
All right, come on.
My wife is off the chain. Here, let's go to the first. Let's go to the first wife.
All right,
Here we
let's go.
Oh, let me go to the other side.
I don't know if I'm going to actually post this because this is super vulnerable for me and I'm a pretty open person. But earlier this year, I told my husband I wanted a divorce. And this would probably shock a lot of my friends and my family because I hadn't told anybody, okay? I walked myself through the logistics of where would I live, how would we split the time with the kids, who gets the dog, where all of those things, okay? Had a full breakdown. I feel like I have been searching for something in my relationship that we don't have for the whole time we've been married, which has been 10 years. There is not a single thing about my husband in and of himself that I do not love. Let me be very clear about that. He is the most self-disciplined, loyal, hardworking, good person that you could meet on this planet. And that is probably the reason why I have not left. Okay. Our relationship and what my expectations are for my marriage and what they always have been are not met, right? Which I don't know if anybody's are. The reason that pushed me to even bring up divorce and talk about it was the fact that I feel like I can't be myself with my husband. And it's really confusing because I'm 32 years old. I am a mom of 3 and I still don't know who I am. So for me to be like, oh, I can't be myself or you don't love me for who I am isn't really fair because I don't know who I am.
So you're willing to break up your family of 3. You've already thought through and worked out in your mind the logistics of how you want things to go, all the way down to the dog. You have a phenomenal man that is faithful to you, that apparently is taking care of business on top of things. There's no financial lack per se or anything like that. And so essentially what you're telling us is that you're bored. And because you don't have no real struggle or no trauma and no issues and problems, and because you don't really know what's on the outside of that door, because I'm going to just tell you, on the outside of that door is demons out here. Real talk. The streets is waiting to eat you alive. I don't know what's wrong with women. What makes them think that you should? Women are literally dying for a good man, and this chick is saying that she want to break up her whole family because she not content.
This foolishness. Foolishness. This foolishness.
Wait a minute.
Foolishness.
She's been married for 10 years. Her husband is loyal, sweet, kind, beautiful, all of that. But in her mind, she done separated the kids, the dogs, where they gonna live, who gonna get what, and all that good stuff. All because she is 32 and ain't found herself.
She should have did that before she got married.
I'm not laughing at her. Prophet Miller, I'm not laughing at her. Your
Stop
face,
laughing at me,
your
because
face
that's
is
just this is the stuff that just
your face is priceless. Yo, this is crazy. So you're 32 years old. You don't know who you are. You don't know what you want. You have no earthly idea. You've gotten married. You've given somebody 3 kids.
three kids. Did you know that when you have children, you decide to sacrifice what you decide to sacrifice you for them?
Oh, I mean, I know. I get that. So but
Robert Miller said, it sound like you laughing at her.
But this is my thing. You don't know who you are at 30, and I kind of agree with Daniel, Mr. Daniel. He said she bored. She ain't got nothing to do. What she probably need. Let me tell you, she probably need what the other woman who we gonna show today got. Her husband probably should have lost his job, so
she can go
find her something to do, and she can
good.
find herself. Listen, because look, no disrespect to black women, right? This is no disrespect to black women, but it is a known thing amongst white women that they are sent to the university to get a degree and to find a husband. And they only got the degree, right? They only got this degree. Wow, that's how we feeling.
You talking?
We only got this degree because in case the husband slip, fall, break his neck, something happened to him, he lose his job, bad car accident, then she can step in
And step up.
and help him out, right? That is a known fact.
Oh,
Whites, Italians, Indians putting themselves in the market so they can, as the Bible say, when a man findeth a wife, I found her in the university. I found mine in high school. See how the Lord worked? Because he knew I wasn't going to college. Let me give him his early, because he going to skip this whole university thing. Right. But I mean, you can you be mad at her though?
you find yourself before you go get married.
Okay, so
She said she been looking for something the entire 10 years that she's been married.
but this is my thing though, right? So you remember we was watching the movie, one of my favorite movies, Mom's Night Out. The main character, the mom, made a great point, and I believe a lot of women are in this situation. They grew up all of their lives, and all they wanted to do was be married and have kids. They didn't think about what comes with being married and having children. They didn't put that in because all they wanted, and the husband said, you got what you wanted. What is the problem?
Here is the problem. We have created a fantasy world. It's not that we didn't think about what comes with the husband and the kids. It's that we have created this fantasy that is definitely not reality.
But
I got this idea of this husband in my head, and you ain't doing it. And these kids, I thought my kids were going to be sweet, and they're going to be quiet, and they going to follow directions, and you ain't been around kids, have you?
yeah.
I'm just saying.
But
and
I don't think the growing up part is where they at. I think it's the rockabye baby where they get stuck.
whatever. I'm just saying that it ain't, okay? And now, because you've created this fantasy, not to mention, okay, so I'm gonna come out my feelings because this is foolery. But then you also have to understand that there is definitely a spiritual side to it. And the spiritual side is that,
Steve.
okay, so I have a conversation every day.
Mm-hmm. What's your conversation?
The conversation is me having to check this other person every day, all day.
Ooh, wait a minute. What other person?
Because the other person is constantly saying things like, he ain't doing nothing.
Who said that?
He's sitting there. You doing everything.
Who said that?
Why you got to pay everything? Why you got to cook and clean when you come home from work? Why you got... And he, look at him. He just sitting over there watching TV. Look at him.
Look at me.
These are the conversations that you got to check. Because these conversations going unchecked will put you right where they are. And the problem is you ain't checking the other person because you don't see the other person. Wife. Because see, for me, I have to check the other person and be like, I don't know who you think you playing with, but I see you, I hear you, and I know what you're trying to do. You will not cause division in my house. My husband is doing what he's supposed to do. And if he ain't, it ain't for me to check. It's for God to check. You know why? Because I ain't his God. He know what he supposed to do. And if he ain't doing it, why? I got too much time on my hands if I'm paying attention to what he ain't doing. Because obviously I ain't doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So shut your face.
Well,
because ain't nobody playing with you. How about get up out of my house and get out of my ear? Because we entertaining the seeds that have been dropped in our heads.
And it's crazy because I have to fight that same stupid person every day.
And that's what I'm talking about.
You know, somebody else should be cooking besides my wife. My wife done said this. Ain't nobody moved. My wife done asked for this. Ain't nobody did it. Okay, I got to do this. We got to do that. I got to go here. My wife working 42 hours a day. It ain't even 42 hours in a day. But my wife worked 2 days in 1 day. My wife get up before Jesus. And Jesus go to bed before she do. I'm just saying. This is how she work. And so now it'd be like, man, the ministry stuff I'm stuck with because she doing that, but I understand why she doing that. So it's almost like you having this debate in your head with this
non-seen being,
stupid person who trying to get your world all tangled
chaos,
up. And I
and
think
divide the family, because that is the end result.
That's the end result.
To separate.
And it's to cause dissension inside of the family, even if it doesn't separate. It's to make me mad at my wife, mad at my kids, because they ain't did what she told them to do, and they dragging their feet. So now I walk in, there's dishes all in the sink, and it's like, wait a minute, I'm confused, because I know she said A, B, C, D. So now it's something that I heard from Scott Jennings yesterday. I don't know if you know who that is. We call him the new CEO of CNN. He said he never hit his kids. He said that he made things known that there are consequences for actions. Listening to whatever is taking place in your head is a consequence for the action that this unseen being whispering in your ear. This lady, her consequence would be to ruin her entire life. She's not only going to ruin her life,
Her children.
she's going to kill her children's life.
Her husband.
She's going to mess up her husband, because this man is going to be like, wait a minute. The only reason why you haven't left me is because of ... I heard a pastor say he had been married for 65 years. He said the first 20 years that he had to come to an understanding that they didn't love each other unconditionally. And he said he said the reason how he knew they didn't love each other unconditionally, because she made it very, very clear. I ain't left because I love the fact that he's A, he's B, he's C, he's D. I love his hair. I love his eyes. I love his nose. I love he's kind. I love he's sweet. I love that he likes to laugh. So there are things, you like the things about him, but you don't completely love him. He said, once we begin to take away, I love this, I love that, I love this, then I can love you unconditionally. Because there's no conditions to the love that I give. And we did a message, I think it was last year, about God loves unconditionally, but his rewards and blessings come with the conditions. So we think that you're looking for the I love his eyes reward, the I love his smile reward, his kindness. Prophet Miller said the mind is a battleground. This is where the enemy plays. So he plays on the conditions. And it says to know the wiles of the enemy. That word wiles is his thoughts, because that's where the enemy begins. That's how he got Eve. He made her begin to think, doubt. He planted a seed of doubt. Then he planted a seed of curiosity. And then she began to think, looking the desire of the tree to make one wise. So this is not a new game. So now you leave your husband. Let's go down. Can we go down this road real quick? You got 3 little ones. Don't know how old they are. I'm pretty sure they have to be real young, because you're 32. So y'all been married for 10 years, so y'all got married at 22. You probably didn't pop the first one out until after 3 years into the marriage.
No, because even if she popped the first one out the first year, the child ain't but 10 years old.
So we're going to give the oldest between 7 and 10, right? To take the joy of coming home, seeing daddy every day.
And if you're telling me he's this good guy, that means he's an awesome dad.
That means if he's good to you, then he's good to the kids. Definitely if there's a little girl involved, I'm pretty sure his boo-boo smell like roses to her. She don't see no wrong in him. There's no flaw. You even feel there's no flaw. But you will create one. Then you will create dissension. Then you will sow discord. One of those things that God hates, considers abomination. Then your family gonna get involved. Then your family
and his family gonna be mad
at you, because she made that very clear that it would be a problem.
They gonna be mad at you. You know why? Because many of those family members, especially the women, they know what it's like to have somebody on the other side of that.
Because now I see if he was beating on you. He ain't had no job. He was mistreating you. He smoked up all the money. He's trying to molest your children.
Man, we ain't even got to go that deep. She ain't even say they get in arguments. Like, you really ain't got nothing.
She did.
I don't know if I'm going to actually post this because this is super vulnerable for me and I'm a pretty open person. But earlier this year, I told my husband I wanted a divorce. And this would probably shock a lot of my friends and my family because I hadn't told anybody, okay? I walked myself through the logistics of where would I live, how would we split the time with the kids, who gets the dog, where all of those things, okay? Had a full breakdown. I feel like I have been searching for something in my relationship that we don't have for the whole time we've been married, which has been 10 years. There is not a single thing about my husband in and of himself that I do not love. Let me be very clear about that. He is the most self-disciplined, loyal, hardworking, good person that you could meet on this planet. And that is probably the reason why I have not left. Okay. Our relationship and what my expectations are for my marriage and what they always have been are not met.
So, two things. Number one.
Expectation. Ain't that what I said?
You always teaching on
the false expectation.
False expectation. The expectation that she has cooked up in her mind that she's gonna get, that she is not getting. So, two, let me tell you another reason why she ain't filed these divorce papers. She said, I told my husband I want a divorce. So she told him, right? Then she said, he is this is why I haven't left. No, you haven't left because you don't have the money to file the divorce papers. And you can't go to none of your family members and ask for the money to file for the divorce because they gonna think that you cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Then this is another thing that I find to be very can I say how I feel? Please. Pretty please. With a little sugar on top.
Yeah,
I think this is very retarded because you said I don't think I should post this. But you posted it. I don't think my family doesn't know. Ding, 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 ding.
Well, she was talking about prior to her posting it.
They know now.
Right, but she was talking about prior to her posting.
Then you gonna sit here and say he this, he that. And you have this expectation that has not been met. My question is, have you met his expectations as a wife?
Probably not.
Since you got all of these expectations, have you met his?
So here's the deal.
Tell me something.
We all have this fantasy expectation. But when you get into a marriage, you have to come to the conclusion of understanding that no, that ain't what it is. I didn't marry that person. And 9 times out of 10, the expectation that you have, if you had men in your life that were good, then the expectation is for him to meet those standards of those men. If you did not have those expectations, then you got the expectation from the googly-eyed romance movies or the books or other people's idea or who have told you what a man is and should be. The problem is that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. When I say that, what I mean is that each one of us are unique. There are no two people, no two human beings that are exactly alike. God did that on purpose. Now, you may have some characteristics that are like other people's. Great, wonderful. But what makes you you is unique to you. So therefore, because I am unique and my background and my environment has shaped me, and you are unique and your background and your environment has shaped you, then sweetheart, we will not meet each other's unrealistic expectations. So what does that mean, Pastor Q? That means that now we have to learn one another and adapt.
What?
We have to adapt. That means that I got to do some changing. You got to do some. Wait. Did I just say I gotta change?
No. See, look, check this out. Two things. Number one, turn the little thing for me. Maybe a little more crispy.
I'm
I
so
can't.
done.
Look a little more professional. Just a little bit, not a lot. So we said this yesterday. You want a little harder. Okay, now come back that way. I'm sorry. Sorry for doing the other kind of work. You got to come back some more, baby. Don't be scared. Don't be like the lady, scared. Don't be scared. So I'm gonna just say that no. So there you go. Now just a little bit that way. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Come on, you keep coming.
Keep saying a little.
Okay, so come on with it. There we go. Right there. Don't go nowhere. Stop right there. That's it. Hallelujah. Anyway, so as we said yesterday, there is a coming together to be one. Uno. We are to grow. We are to become one in unison, which means change is expected. We're going to change. Look at my little brother. He got married. He was slimmer than that. He got married. He put on 100 pounds. I'm just saying, that's change. He changed.
Get out.
So we all change. Change is inevitable. To grow together, to become one, to move in one requires give and take. It requires bending. It requires compromise. It requires these things that people don't want to do because they have this expectation that they can remain themselves and go into a relationship. And then but the funny thing is, you want the other person to change.
Come on.
Now, I don't know how smart you have to be or how dumb you have to be to think that you are not going to change or change. We talked about this yesterday. that even when you come to Christ, Christ expects you to change. You can't come to Christ and then 10 years later, you still doing the same thing that you was doing when you first came. That means you didn't come to Christ. That means you just walked down the aisle because you was in your feelings that day.
You had an emotional
move. Emotional roller coaster. What's the girl name? Vivian Green? Yes. You was just on an emotional roller coaster. That was it. You wasn't seeking you wasn't seeking to grow. Growth requires change. She, on the other hand, my dear, made it very clear that her expectations were not met because she went in with expectations that she probably never even discussed with this guy.
Pastor Carlton said something. He said, fully convinced that there's a high-ranking demon attached to the word expectation in Western culture. And I have to agree. Because that is the number one. Number one is finances. Number 2 cause of divorces
Is stupid expectations.
Is unrealistic expectations.
Right. Because you expecting something. But this also becomes my thing. This is something I live by in the street when I was out there in the world. And I still live by this same rule after Jesus. I can't expect someone to do something for me
that I'm
not willing to do for myself.
Well, the good books say treat other people how you want to be treated.
What good book is that?
The good book that the good Lord gave us called The Basic Instructions Before Leaving Earth. The Bible.
The Bible? The Bible. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that they knew what good book we was talking about. Okay, because I don't want nobody going on Google talking about, I'm looking for the good book. Right. So, she said her expectations, but this is also what I found to be very interesting about her. Let's continue.
Right, which I don't know if anybody's are. The reason that pushed me to even bring up divorce and talk about it was the fact that I feel like I can't be myself with my husband. And it's really confusing because I'm 32 years old. I am a mom of 3 and I still don't know who I am. So for me to be like, oh, I can't be myself or you don't love me for who I am isn't really fair. Because I don't know who I am.
So you're willing to break up your
Shalom.
family?
How are you? Good to see you as well.
Hello.
Hey, Janae.
Hey.
This is my thing. She said her expectation is met and she don't believe that no couple expectations will ever be met. I don't agree with that. Because the number one thing that she doesn't have that kills her expectation is she doesn't have identity.
And she said, I don't know who
I am. She said, I can't be myself around my husband because I don't know who I am.
And before she said, I don't know who I am, when she said, I can't be myself around I'm like, girl, you done married this man. He done seen everything about you. He know you inside and out because men tend to pay attention more than what they want to let on. And you gonna tell me you can't be who he married you because you were who you were. And I know you weren't putting on. So I'm confused. But then when she said, I don't know who I am, then that just blew up my theory. Because if you don't know who you are, baby, then he did. You can't put this on him.
Now, when I heard I can't be myself, I was like, so who are you trying to be? Are you a mass murderer? You can't do no freaky deaky like you really want. I'm confused. Like, what we talking about here that you can't be yourself in front of your husband? That's number one. Number two, you don't know your identity. And because you don't have an identity, that means the reason why you feel you can't be yourself is because you don't know your value.
Well, you don't even know. You don't even know what you want to do. You don't know what you want to be. You don't know.
Because,
but again, you can't put that on that man. That ain't his problem.
Because you lack identity.
Absolutely.
So let me help you find identity. Identity is found in two places. The first place identity is found is in Christ. 3 places. The second place identity is found is in Christ. The third place should have came from your daddy. So my question becomes, did she have a dad? Did she grow up in a house with a dad? What is the relationship like with her dad? You see what I'm saying? So your identity should have who you can be and comes from.
I'm sorry. She said they've been married for 10 years. She's 32, so that means she was 22 when she got married. And what that means is she was still trying to find herself when they got married. Most children, young folks, young adults do not know who they are.
Right.
Until they get I'll give them
30.
No. I'll give some of them 25, depending on how mature they are and how they're being brought up. But to give you anything under 25 would be a stretch.
This is why I said that.
Kat said, is there such a thing as perfect? No.
The Bible said, be ye perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. That means learning to be whole.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a such thing as being perfect. Follow me.
Okay.
Because Jesus would have never told you to be perfect.
Go ahead.
If you can't be whole.
But that depends on what version you're reading. Go ahead.
So the Greek word that is used there for perfect, that's been translated through King James, which is a word for word translation, the Greek word means to be whole.
Right.
And it also means to be holy.
Right.
Right. So how can one do that? Paul explains this in Romans. He also explains it in Galatians when you're walking after the Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Give us a second. There you go. When you're walking after the Spirit. So when you're walking after the Spirit, because that's the only one that's going to get you what Marche said you was looking for. So when you begin to walk after the Spirit, then you begin to find your identity in Christ. You begin to find you. Again, my wife makes a very great point. She was married when she was young. She was married when she was young. So she said she was 32. She's been married 10 years. This is my belief. I believe from 18 to 25, this is the time we as parents should be not sending our children off to indoctrination camps. And it's okay to send them to a higher learning facility. But I believe that they should be close. Because this is the time that we should be grooming them to become functioning adults. And let me just paint my what I mean. We have established this thing that at 18 you're grown. At 18, most children can barely read. They don't know how to count money. They don't even know how to wipe their behind. They don't even know how to tie their shoes half the time. So let alone saying that you're an adult, and we haven't even given them the proper layout that is needed We haven't even given them the proper layout that is needed to be an adult. I believe from 18 to 25 is the time we as parents should be giving them the proper layout. We should be giving them the game. We should be letting them know how the world truly works. They should have a real understanding. Because when you look at our Savior culture, believe that at 13 you are now responsible to have a relationship with God. Your bar mitzvah meant that you are now being held accountable on your own to be able to understand the word, to have a relationship with God. By the time you hit 16, 17, you are now brought into the business to understand business, life, money, finances, how the world works. So by the time you are really ready to get married and have this understanding, you have already been given the tools that you need to be a husband or to be a wife. But now here in the Western culture, we don't teach that. You're an adult. So now 18, 19, 20, 21. So she probably went to college, 18, graduated by 22, probably met him in college. They're married.
Well, I'm going to say this. To be quite honest, ain't none of that matter. I hear you. It does matter. Being raised and taught up and taught business and all that good stuff. But in all actuality, it is the mind of the person. Because I can instill all of that in you, but if you still are not there, you're just not there.
And I get that. And I agree with that.
And a lot of the young folks are
not there.
They're just not there. And it's because they still want to. I think, and this is just me thinking out loud, and I could be very wrong, but also some of my own experience speaking here. When I grew up, I grew up a little bit fast. And when I say fast, I don't mean like I was in the streets. I mean, I learned how to be responsible fast. I've been taking care of kids since I was 9 years old, playing mommy since I was 9 years old to other people's children. I was always the responsible one. And when I got older, I did want relationship. And when I got pregnant with the oldest, it was, I don't want all my children to have different fathers. So therefore, all right, we're with this one. I think I love him, not really understanding that I had no concept of what love was, but in looking for that love, falling for that guy, and this is what everybody has in common, to have different.
They losing us. There we go.
Uh-oh.
We back.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Oh, man. In her being young, a young mother, that means she had to, most likely she began to, her identity started going away.
Right.
And after years, this is where you end up. You're in a identity crisis because you never had time to figure out who you were.
Interesting.
I remember, I do remember going to counseling. And in going to counseling, I was asked, who are you? With the stipulations of outside of your children's mother, outside of your husband's wife, outside of what you do, who are you? And I was caught like a deer in headlights.
And I believe that that's where she is.
And that's exactly where she is. The problem is she does not have people around her. I'm not even going to say that because she said that her family would be upset. She's not in a place or a space to hear what's being said to her. And because she has always had the good. See, there's a difference when you're going through that and you are in hell. I was living in hell. My marriage, the man that I was married to did not want to be married. Had he wanted to be married, then the outlook would have been different. We would have worked things out. But when you're married to someone who does not want to be married, in her case, her husband is married to someone who does not want to be married, unless God changes that, he might as well say, all right, all I can do is continue to pray for you. But while I'm praying for you, I'm working on me and asking God to deal with me.
Makes sense. So, really quickly, I want to go through these comments. So, Prophetess Janae said she was looking at the title, Would a perfect woman divorce a perfect husband? She said a woman not whole and Yah will divorce a perfect husband.
Yep.
Kat said perfect is mature as well. And you're absolutely right. Mature.
No, she said perfect as immature as well. No.
Right. But to be whole means to be mature. So so whole, mature, and holy. You're absolutely correct. And then she said the temple of a perfect woman would not be leaving a perfect man. In the scriptural definition of perfect, she has to be set apart, mature, right, for the role of a wife and a disciple, and whole. Then she goes on to say about how the Levi priest had to choose a wife by according to that because of his role. She agreed with you. She was also cooking, cleaning, and babysitting also at the age of 9. I can say by 9 I was cooking, I was cleaning, I was watching after my little brother, I was folding clothes, I was walking to the laundromat, I was working on the back of the vegetable truck just to make money. I was hustling, I was cutting grass, raking yards, and I was doing some things I ain't had no business. But you mature. We, as we stated yesterday, our generation is very different.
Well, not just that. You have to take into account the person themselves.
Right. So what I can say for this young lady, that she needs to answer that question. Outside of being a mother, outside of being a wife, which I think she's at that point now. She's like, who am I? What am I? What am I doing? Find Christ and he will let you know. And I know that sounds real cliche, but I promise you that is the way to go. Now, to the second lady, because we said that there are two. Now,
This is number 2.
if you're driving, you might want to pull over. Put your seat. Make sure you got your seatbelt on. If you at work,
Don't put her on the line.
right? So
Here comes Batty.
my wife called her baddie. I'm gonna let you see for yourself.
So you married?
I'm going through a divorce.
What happened with that?
Basically, my husband stopped meeting my expectations.
Situation.
So when I met him, when I met my husband, I told her what I expect from a man. The number one rule with being with me is you have to provide. I won't settle for anything less. So my husband ended up losing his job. So he ended up losing his job. He came home and he told me, I'm like, okay, cool. All right. So a month went by and he looked for me to pay the bills. Who paid what bills? So I was going to consider it if he gave me the money back for paying the bills. And he told me no. He felt like he shouldn't have to do that. What do you mean? When I told you, as a man, I expect you to provide. Under no circumstances will I ever touch bills as long as I got a husband. None. If you can, who you can hear,
He probably happy you gone, man.
I'm sure he missing.
A headache? That would be a headache for me. Like, I know I just lost my job. What if he lied? You know, niggas do that now. Just lost my job, baby, to test. But what is he doing now?
That's childish. Like what you said to me, that's childish.
I'm saying to see what I got. Now I see what I got.
Now, if he was gonna test, he should have tested before he married her. Test her.
Okay.
But she did.
Okay.
So you mean to tell me that this man is gonna take care of you? Oh, by the way,
Come to find out.
What's missing out of this clip is she has three children, none of which are his.
Yeah, we found that out through our brother. I played this in the car. He was like, "Oh my God, I know her.
Yeah,
she got kids, and she wanted this man to take care of the baby."
Yeah,
right.
She wants him to take care of her and her 3 kids, which are not his. And he lost his job. Now, mind you, he has obviously been taking on the responsibility and doing it willingly and cheerfully and all that good stuff.
But so Pastor Carlton, she did have an expectation. Don't know if that was a demon expectation.
Listen,
but she laid it out as an expectation. Hey April, what's going on?
Hey April,
I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you one of them people that you might got down there.
I'm done. Don't put that out loud. Yep, out there where you at?
Where you at?
So you married?
I'm going through a divorce.
What happened with that?
Basically, my husband stopped meeting my expectations.
What you mean?
So when I met him, when I met my husband, I told her what I expect from a man. The number one rule with being with me is you have to provide. I won't settle for anything less. So my husband ended up losing his job. So he ended up losing his job. He came home and he told me, I'm like, okay, cool. Right, so a month went by and he looked for me to pay the bills. Who pay what bills? So I was going to consider it if he gave me the money back for paying the bills. And he told me no. He felt like he shouldn't have to do that. What do you mean? When I told you, as a man, I expect you to provide. Under no circumstances will I ever touch bills as long as I got a husband. None. If you can, who you can hear,
He probably happy you gone, man.
I'm sure he missing.
A headache? That would be a headache for me. Like, I know I just lost my job. What if he lied? You know, niggas do that now. Just lost my job, baby, to test. But what is he doing now?
That's childish. Like what you said to me, that's childish.
I'm saying to see what I got. Now I see what I got.
Now he wasn't testing her.
There you
he
go.
lost his job.
There you go, April. Hold on. I need you to lay hands on me so I don't say nothing stupid. I need her to lay hands on me so I don't say nothing stupid. Please forgive me. I just jumped on and saw the title, and it was women in general. After a little while, I see it's about women who aren't. And
absolutely, they are not.
But they will tell you that they're Christians because they're American.
But this but this
I'm gonna say, can I say
is
something?
what.
Can I say something real quick? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
This is the example.
And not even that. Even you have women in the church like this. So let's not get it twisted. Like, this is not inside the church, especially the first one. Married young, got kids, been with her husband, he treating her right, and she don't know who she is. This takes place,
and that's natural.
That's a natural place.
I know people who are older than her, and they get lost in the marriage. Let me say this. That's why it's important to go through marriage counseling, and make sure you go through Christian marriage counseling, and the people that you're dealing with, they're good at what they do. And when they're good at what they do, they bring things out of you that you don't even realize are there. And they bring up things that you don't normally talk about in the relationship between you and the person that is a possibility of being your spouse. And then two, continuing in, of course, in your word and prayer and going to God, but even in the marriage as you're growing and changing, talking to wise counsel.
I agree. And you said women walking and living the word, the identity truly in Messiah. So this is the thing. The women in the church have stopped doing what the word of God told them to do. You were instructed. No, let me rephrase that. Women were commanded to teach the younger women. Mm-hmm. So if the cup is clean on the outside but not clean on the inside, then where did the women who's supposed to be teaching the women fall short?
No, because you okay, and I'm just gonna be transparent, because you know it's some folks that I done walked hand in hand with.
I was gonna say, now you got some who not gonna listen, but this is the thing: you have some who are not being taught. Period. Mm-hmm. They're just showing up to church. They're giving. You come in. You go, like I said earlier. You got that. You on that emotional roller coaster. You raise your hand, you slide out the aisle, you get your stuff, and then you walk down the aisle. You say this 12-point prayer, then you walk to the left, and then they say, hey, come back here, take these new membership classes. There's no discipleship. It's all about what the church do, how you do, what your gift is, and all this. And you're not actually being discipled. Nobody is really pouring into you. Nobody is helping you walk out. One thing I loved about the movie Forge, he said that I was the man who killed this son. Mm-hmm. He went to him and discipled him for the same amount of time he was discipled, which was about 2 to 3 years. Mm-hmm. So he had somebody walk with him, talk with him, pray with him, read with him, go with him, counsel him, and move with him for almost 3 years. Then was able to forgive and pray, and then go and disciple the same person who killed this son in the car accident. And now have him as one of the leaders in his thing, and look at him as he never killed this son. And walk with them just like he did with the young man. His journey was almost like a 2-year journey in the movie. So we can look at people, but the thing is, are we doing what we supposed to do? Are we where we supposed to be? Really guiding and teaching? Because like I said last week, we as the ecclesia, Jesus said, upon this rock I shall build my ecclesia. I'm pretty sure they was like, so why you didn't say synagogue? Why you didn't say holy temple? Because it's our job to go out and declare in the decree of the king where we are. We should be affecting everything, but we don't. We don't affect everything. We don't affect government, because there's no such thing as separation of church and state. That is the most retarded thing. And if anybody go back and really read the letter and read the book that Thomas Jefferson read, then you'll realize that the church was supposed to be the foundation of the state. We're not in entertainment. We're not in the school system. And if we are, we hide who we are. Hey, Tam. We hide who we are. So now you have women like this one divorce is like abortion for marriage.
Yep.
That to me, that's what it is. So you can freely get married, and then you can abort the marriage.
Yep.
However you feel. Oh, well, he didn't pay my bills because this was my expectation. And I told him this is what I expected of a man. But no, A man can be like, okay, but no man would think that if I lost my job, that you wouldn't help me.
And I've been taking care of you all this time.
And taking care of your kids, then you just, oh well, nah, I can't do that.
And then the nerve that you're living in this house, you still in the electricity, you're still in cooking, cleaning, you still doing everything, and you want him to pay you back, but yet you're living the highlight. I'm so sorry, I'm confused.
Let me tell you.
I'm sorry, let me just say this. Proverbs 31, woman, she had a job. She had a job outside of her husband.
She had an identity outside of her
She had an identity outside of her husband, but she had a job outside of her husband. So if anything were to happen to her husband, she would still be okay. If he died today, she would still be okay. If something happened to her husband and he couldn't take care of it what he needed to, she could step in because she's been stacking her money all this time.
Listen.
And her paying those bills wouldn't hurt anything because she's been while he was taking care of her, she was taking care of the background.
Right. And listen, let me tell you something.
That's your responsibility. The Bible, the vows say, till death do us part, sickness and in health, till death do us part.
Book over there.
Which book?
The vow book.
Oh.
I can just be honest with you. I couldn't have came home and said, babe, I lost my job, boom, boom, boom. Oh, well, I'll help you pay. I'll pay it if you give me the money back. Because she wouldn't have liked me after that. I would have said some things to you. I'm talking about I would have said some things to you I'm talking about make your, I would have said some things to you make you want to fight. On purpose. I'd have tried my best to make you feel real small. And then if you wanted to fight
So let me help y'all. That is not godlike.
That isn't godlike. But that is, but you have to understand, okay, that would have sparked anger in any man.
It would have.
That would have triggered any man in that moment. Now, I probably had to go and repent, tell you I'm sorry the next day. But what I could tell you that I'd have meant from the bottom of my heart, that if I can't depend on you, not even just from a physical standpoint, this means that you don't pray for me. This means that you can't hold me spiritually. This means that I can't trust you with my emotions. This means that I can't come to you in the time of need. This means I have no safe space with you. And if I don't have these things as a man, that means that I'm only appreciated when I can do. So that means that I'm not really appreciated at all. I'm really just, I'm tolerated. So that means that you just tolerate me for the time I'm here. So that means that our relationship is not even really built on anything but the sex that we had, which probably led us down this road of marriage in the first place. So now I say this to men who are watching. This is why, and I spoke about this with my daughter yesterday, our oldest daughter, Yaz. This is why I challenge men to ask questions. That's what I was saying yesterday. My daughter was like, you got this whole chapter in this book and men don't know how to ask these questions because they haven't been taught to ask these questions. Because that could have been avoided. Because I expect, this is the conversation. Tell me what she said, what she told him from day one.
If you were my husband, I do not expect to have to pay any bills. You are to be the provider, and I expect you to be the provider.
Okay, so let me ask this question. And I understand that because, you want a man that's going to make sure you're good and you all right. And, I provide for you, but what'd happen if, let's say I got hit by a truck coming home from work and I couldn't work for 2-3 months?
Sidebar, we actually had our pastor at the time doing our marriage counseling, and he had us write out a whole scenario on that very thing.
Right.
All right.
And the movie will be coming soon in 2 years. But anyway, go ahead.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
So
What happens if
something happens to me?
No, I'm sorry. If anything, I mean what I say. I am not touching any bills. You're the provider.
I got that. But even if I can't work,
Yeah,
if something
no.
happened to me,
No.
you can't hold it
No.
down? Okay. What's your name again?
Because that needs to be your response.
Because I'm about to give you one. So what's your name again?
That needs to be your response.
It was nice to know you.
Yep.
I appreciate you.
Yep.
Check, please. I'll take care of the check. And since I paid for the check and probably paid for the hotel, I need for you to leave. Thank you. You have a great day.
You ain't even got to be all.
Yep, that's that.
No, you don't have to be.
You don't have to.
Listen, people of God, because my husband, I don't know what's wrong with him. People of God,
you ain't got to be rude.
You don't have to be rude and nasty.
You don't.
Period.
So that's
because
start over.
No, already done. You don't have to be rude, and even in the situation where she came to him and said what she said, being in Christ, you still don't have to be rude and cuss her out and none of that.
You definitely don't do that.
You just sat here and said everything
come on, we doing this for the camera. You trying to get views and
you trying to get.
No, I'm just joking.
This guy, but and I'm talking from because we sit up here and we laugh and we joke and we have fun. And y'all know when Pastor A is being honest, y'all do know that. And y'all know he was being real honest just then. Because God is still doing the work in him. I ain't even gonna lie, he can't play, he can't pretend. God is still doing the work in him.
I'd have put you at.
But a level of maturity.
So here goes right here. I, Anthony, take Chiquita to be my wedded wife, to have and to hold from this day forward, for better or worse, richer or poor, job or no job, sickness and health, to love and to cherish, to death do us part, according, this is the part they be missing. Let me help y'all out. According to God's holy ordinance. And there I do give thee my pledge. This is the part that they forget. So we know better or worse, rich or poor, sickness and health, to death. We know that. But what nobody seems to always go back to and quote, according to God's holy ordinance. Together in holy wedlock. So we forget that part. That's the most important part of the wedding vow. They got about 3-4 different ones in here. Cherish. Do you? Oh, how about this one? Do you? It say in. I hope it ain't what I think it is. I'm sorry. Don't worry about that. To hold by the hand, to be your lawful and true husband, to love, honor, obey, and cherish him, in joy and pain, in sickness and health, and forsaking all others, to cleave to him only, as long as you both shall live. And they asked him to take her to be your true and lawful wife, to love, to cherish, in joy and pain, in sickness and health, forsaking all others, to cleave to her only, as long as you both shall live. Right? So this is the one that they like to read. But that's the one you always hear all the time. Cleave to one another, joy. But this one right here, according to God's holy ordinance, I think the greatest thing that people don't understand is that marriage is a God thing. God created marriage. It's his. He started the Bible with a marriage. He ends the Bible with the marriage. So to me, and he always talking about his wife, his bride, his wife, his bride. You supposed to be my wife. You out here having an affair. You cheating on me with the stupid God that can't see, can't talk, can't hear, can't walk. How you got a God out here that you got to make with your own hands, and then he can't do nothing for you, but then you want to turn your back on me. I'm supposed to be your husband. He said that I'm the husband man. We read this yesterday, that my father's the husband man. I am the true vine, and my father's the husband man. It's marriage all throughout the Bible. So I don't understand why we think we created marriage. Like we made the rules. We didn't make the rules to this. The rules was here before you were born. The rules was established when he said, "Let there be light."
Listen, the first girl, what she's going through is a natural part of marriage, and having the right people in the right mindset and being in Christ will fix all of that, and she won't destroy her marriage. Baddie, on the other hand, she just baddie. She is crazy as a bat. Okay?
Okay.
She need Jesus for real.
She need more than Jesus.
And like the guy said, he probably glad you gone because you was more than a headache.
That's
Now, I feel sorry for the guy because first off, it's rare to find a man that's willing to take on what he took on and do what he did and do it willingly with the right heart. That means he is truly a good man. To come into relationship with someone like that will totally destroy him.
It would.
And he is no longer willing to do that for anyone else. And it's going to take God healing him, because I know that hurt. There's no way you can tell me it didn't hurt him. There's no way. He is hurt. He feels used, all that good stuff. That's what turns a good man into a dog. And that's just me being in the realm of cliche.
No, but
this is what changes good men.
You're right. And that's why I was responding the way that I was. Mm-hmm. Because you would take a man out of his character.
Absolutely.
And now every woman that comes after that,
it's going to pay for your foolishness.
It's going to pay for that if he doesn't understand. Because believe it or not, there are a lot of good men out here. Yep. There are more good men out here than stupid men. We proved that yesterday. Because the girl yesterday, she didn't even know how to receive the love that a godly good man could give her.
We ain't even gonna say godly because she didn't say godly. But
let's just say a good man. She didn't even know how to receive the love from a good man. So now there are more good men than there are bad. The problem is you get baddies. Like the last girl.
And April said it earlier. She said people choose their mates, and they do. And people, listen, I'm going back to the comment that I made at the beginning. When someone tell you who they are,
Believe them.
when someone shows you who they are, believe them. We have a problem, especially good people. Good people tend to have a problem with, because I believe there is good in you. I hear what you're saying. I see what you're doing, but I just believe that there's something else. I just believe that my love can change you. I just believe that if I love you the correct way,
but
then you, the devil is a lie. Believe him.
But this is my thing, right? So how about this, right? Your love couldn't change you. So how you think your love
It's
gonna change me?
Come on, sir.
Your love, you couldn't change you. So how you think you gonna change me? You don't have no power to change nothing.
No thing.
You can't change your own circumstances. You can't fight your own battles. You can't do nothing. Jesus said you can do nothing without me. That means you can't change how you kicking it. Your life can't change. You can't fix it. Because if we can fix it, we wouldn't need God. We wouldn't need the blood. If we could fix it, Jesus would have never had to die on the cross.
That part.
If we can fix it, then he would have never had to shed blood. He didn't have to be the sacrificial lamb. He didn't never had to come down from heaven and make it happen. If we could fix it. Apparently, if we could fix it, then Adam would have fixed it in the garden. He would have punched the serpent in the head. He would have cut down the tree and set it on fire. And we wouldn't have these problems. Right. And when God came walking in the cool of the day, it'd have been like, Adam, why is the tree smoking? Because this idiot tried to holler at my wife. And you know I don't play them games. So I went upside his nugget. I bruised my heel. But I crushed his head.
I'm done.
Then, to make sure that she wouldn't eat off that tree like you told us to, I just went ahead and cut it on down, set it on fire, so we won't have no problems later on down the road to affect our children and children's children. But Adam wasn't thinking that far ahead, right? But anyway, but what I'm saying is, if it could have been fixed, Adam would have fixed it.
I agree.
But we can't fix it.
We cannot.
I can't fix myself.
And this is both couples. I know we didn't hear the men's side, but both couples need a relationship with Christ because it affects so many people in the midst. You got children caught up in the midst of this.
Right.
You got you. And even though you're saying one thing, what's the man name that was with the Caucasian young lady? Daniel. He said, oh Lord, what did he say? I just went blank.
He said that there are demons outside.
Right, there are demons outside, but I forgot where I was going. I'm sorry. I was going somewhere else.
He said that you're willing to sacrifice your whole entire family because you're bored. He said, but let me tell you, on the other side of that door, there are things waiting to eat you alive.
There you go. You think the grass is greener on the other side. And if you, the only man the white young lady had ever been with is her husband for 10 years. You don't know. I'm going to need you to do your research and go on YouTube and TikTok, really TikTok, and see all these women I divorced my husband and I regret it. I thought the grass was going to be green on the other side and I'm sorry. I wish I could have my husband back. Why?
It's gorillas over there.
Because the enemy worked his plan. You were blind. You were blinded. Those seeds that were sown in your head came to full fruition, and you gave the enemy a door. And when you gave him the door, he came right on in. And because of that, he ruined your life. And now because he's severed the relationship, he's removed the covering from you, your children. Your children are now susceptible to everything that the enemy wants to do to him. You are now susceptible to everything he wants to do to you. Your husband is now susceptible. Your ex-husband is now susceptible to everything he wanted to do to him. And now that everything has blown up in your face, the blinders have been removed and you see.
'Cause now you cry.
I'm so done.
In the tears.
But while you were in the midst of it, you thought you was in the worst. Baby, let me tell you something. If you have a mate I don't care if they are boring. You do something to spice it up. Figure it out. It is not worth destroying your household and the generations after, because what you don't realize is not only does it affect you and your children now, it affects your great, 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 great. And we can keep going with great till somebody breaks it.
So
Grandchildren.
So I have a question. Can I ask a question? Okay. So my question is this. If the Bible says that you will have trials, right? You good? If the Bible says that you will have trials, why wouldn't you think that would also include your marriage?
I think because people are too busy looking at the other person and the thoughts, we automatically think that every thought comes from us because it sounds like us.
Yeah, but it ain't us. We just we said that in the open.
Absolutely.
That we fighting against these thoughts every day. Hey, look at this nigga. He watching TV and I'm out here working.
Yeah, exactly.
And you don't know, I might be taking a break from work, but just having the thought, the enemy to, as Prophet Miller said in the beginning, that's the enemy's battlefield is in the mind. And as we said, you have to know the wells of the devil, meaning that's how he gets you. The devil plays on thoughts. This is why Paul even says, hey, you have to take every thought captive. You have to take every imaginary thought captive. So my thing is, even when God put Adam and Eve together, he didn't tell them it was going to be easy.
Not at all.
Like, the first thing Adam understood was work. So that means that everything that you have has to be worked. Everything.
And worked for to maintain it.
Right. And like I said earlier, a lot of people want to be married. They don't want to be in a marriage. See, it's easy to get married because all we got to do is go down to the justice of peace, go down to the courthouse, or you can ask your cousin to go online and get ordained for $17.99, and then he's standing there and be like, hey, Chiquita, do you take the black dude with the gap to be your lawfully wedded husband? And you be like, yeah. Do you take the pretty brown-eyed girl to be your lawfully wedded wife? And you be like, yeah. Because a lot of the times we're not looking long-term. A lot of the times we're trying to cover up lust. A lot of the times we're covering up lust because we think that if we try to do it the right way, or if we get married, then that gets rid of the lust. But the problem is the lust was your foundation.
Yeah.
So your foundation was already shaky. Whether we've already done had sex or we done had a baby, so we think that the right thing to do is to get married. You see what I'm saying? I never forget very first my ex-wife. After we got married, she said, "Oh, now we can have sex without being in trouble." It's the first thing she said to me. The foundation was built on sex. Because a lot of times when you're meeting her or you're seeing him and you're looking at the outer, you know nothing about the inner. And it's like, oh, I want that, or I want him. And then now, like I said yesterday, we meet on Monday, we sleep together on Wednesday, we married on Friday, and you pregnant on Sunday. And, well, I meet you on Monday, we sleep together on Wednesday, you pregnant on Friday, so we get married in church on Sunday. And then we have the audacity to try to cover up the sin with something holy, but we never deal with the sin. And a lot of people have sin in the marriage because they never dealt with the sin issue before they got married. I even put it in my book that I was reading from Ed Cole. He was counseling a couple who had been married like almost 20 years. Come to find out that the wife had been holding a grudge against the husband because she had sex with him 2 weeks before they were supposed to get married. And the thing was, they met in seminary. He was going to be a pastor. They end up making out and having sex in a study room. And she got mad because the only thing she wanted was to save herself for marriage. And for 15 years, the enemy used that to hold a grudge to where it begins to drive a wedge in the marriage because she had been holding on to this grudge for so long because they never dealt with the sin before they tried to get into something holy. And the thing is, a lot of us try to jump into something holy to cover sin because we are told, oh, well, love covers a multitude of sin. But you can't cover sin to try to do something holy. You have to deal with the sin issue.
Got to deal with it.
And the thing is, we don't deal with the sin issue. And then also, a lot of the times, I've been living in sin, you've been living in sin, and now we want to get married, and we still haven't dealt with the sins in our lives. We haven't dealt with the demons in our lives. We haven't went through deliverance. We haven't went through a North Georgia revival baptism. We haven't been touched. Nobody's prayed over us. We don't know nothing about scripture. It's okay. We can't keep living like this. Let's just go ahead and get married. Oh, well, we got kids, and we never deal with the sin issue. So our foundation is based on sin. So since our foundation is based on sin, the devil still has rule and reign. The word Satan means prosecutor. Lucifer was a light bearer. He was the truth bringer. His job was to bring truth against people. This is why Satan is a title. Means, so his job, this is why they say your adversary, is standing there persecuting you all day in front of the throne, all night in front of the throne, because he know the truth. So now he has a legal right to disrupt because your foundation is faulty. And anybody who knows anything about foundation, if you got a house built and your foundation is starting to crack, there's a great chance that your house won't be standing too long. Jesus made it very clear. If your house is built on sand, the storm is coming. It don't matter if you built on sand or you built on the rock. The wind, the rain, the storms are coming in life. They're going to beat up on the house. And if you're not anchored in Christ, you're going to float all the way on out in the sea. Your house is going to be destroyed. Both of these relationships, I definitely know the second one, foundation, is definitely not godly. Can't really speak to the first one. And I agree with you with the first one. She was young and she was happy. And it was an exciting time because she thought she knew who she was and she knew what she wanted. She wanted to marry this man. She was in love. She was full of the bliss.
But again, this goes back to the marriage counseling because nobody told her, you're going to get older. You're going to grow. Nobody tells anybody in the process of becoming engaged and getting ready for the marriage. I've never really heard anybody say, be ready for the changes.
Right. And I'm going to say this too, to those who are looking to be married, to those who are married, those who are struggling in marriage. Check your foundation. Go back to the beginning. How did it meet? What did you do? What haven't you repented of? What did you try to push way deep down to forget? What did you mask? Mm-hmm. And then you have to be able to have an identity out.
That means work on you.
That means you have to work on you.
Stop worrying about the other person. Stop complaining about what the other person ain't doing, is doing wrong, all that good stuff.
Listen. No, go ahead. I'm just saying. I'm with you. Like, listen. The day you go to God and be like, Father, this woman, God checked Adam. I guess we forgot that part. He did. He said, woman, what did you do? Do you know what you did? Because you did that. But you, sir. But you, sir. Mm-hmm. You, sir. I told you, sir. And because you didn't listen to me, sir, it's going to be real hard for you, boss. So the day you go in, talking about, Lord, this woman you gave me, she crazy. She getting on my nerves. She da-da-da-da-da-da. God gonna start, he gonna show you.
Yep.
Well, guess
absolutely.
What? I believe you crazy, and you getting on my nerves too. And you keep getting on my nerves because you keep coming in here praying about her instead of praying about you. Because if you allow me to work on you, then it opens the door for me to work on her. This is why I always point people to 1 Peter 3. You cannot win them with the outer appearance. Your beautiful hair, ladies. You know, you looking so good right there, girl. You can't win them with that. To the men, you can't win them. How? The only way you can win them is with the spirit that is in you. Period. So we have to begin to check ourselves. Check the sin of ourselves Stop looking at everybody else. Stop talking about everybody else, and get your life together. And when you get your life together, I promise you, everything will begin to fall into place for you and for your family and for your wife. Men, ask questions. When women, as my wife said, when people tell you who they are, believe them. When they show you, believe them. Ask questions. Ladies, you are not mommy. You're not wife. You have a name. You have an identity. Find it. Christ has it for you. Know who you are. Don't let all the titles define you.
Done?
I done.
Nope. That's it. So we'll see y'all back here next week. Next week, Tuesday at 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
Y'all have a good rest of the week and weekend.
May God bless you. And also, you can come join us Saturday at 1 o'clock for service. The link of our church is in the description box. The link to my wife's book and my book is also in the description box. The link to both of these pages, Mr. Daniel, and to Perspective with Banks, the link for their pages and these videos are also in the description. We love y'all. We'll see y'all. And again, please make sure that you give us a like, a thumbs up, subscribe. Please hit the notification bell, click on all so you can get all the notifications every time that we go live, anytime we post anything, and get notified 30 minutes before we go live. So we'll see y'all. We love y'all. May God bless you.
Thank you, Stevie C.
And
Bye,
we
y'all.
out.